Hello, everyone. It is really great to be here with all of you, whether you are joining from home or a classroom or somewhere across the globe. No matter what your background is, a student, a coder, a designer, or someone just getting started, you are a builder. And as builders, we create things that people use. That's exciting, but it also comes with responsibility. I am Arun Kumar, VP of Product at Cloudwick. We help build AI systems in the cloud for businesses and government teams. Over the years, I've seen AI more from research labs to tools that uses in schools, hospitals, emergency services, and more. And here is something I have learned. AI without security is not safe. In fact, it can be very dangerous. Now, let's look at why AI security is so important. AI security is different from regular computer security. With normal software, things follow clear rules. If this, then that, right? But with AI, systems learn from data. They change, grow, and sometimes do things we don't expect. Now, let's take a look at three big problems we need to watch out for, right? One is bad training data, data poisoning. Training data is key, like a teacher for your AI. If the teacher gives you wrong lessons, the student learns the wrong things. In data poisoning, attackers or careless sources add bad information to your training set, quietly, cleverly, sometimes even legally. The scary part, just a few bad examples can cause real harm. Let's say you are building an AI to detect hate speech. You collect millions of public social media posts and label them good or bad. Someone sneaks in 500 messages that say hateful things but label them as good. Now, the model learns, okay, that's kind of hate is fine. And suddenly your system starts letting toxic messages go through, or worse, it flags peaceful posts as offensive because they come from certain group. So I can give you more examples. A facial recognition system trained on biased data sets might fall to recognize people with darker skin tones. A loan approval AI might deny loans to people from certain background or neighborhood if the data is biased on old unfair decisions. Or in a medical diagnosis model, if fake symptoms are added to the training data, the AI may misdiagnose real patients. So how does poisoning happen? Sometimes it is intentional, like someone uploading fake photos to public dataset. Sometimes it is unintentional too, like a scrapped dataset that includes mislabeled or offensive content. So why it is dangerous? AI systems often learn patterns we don't notice. One poisoned example can lead to huge shifts in how the AI behaves. Now let's look at the second one, right? Tricky inputs. AI models look smart, but they can easily fooled by inputs that look normal to humans, but confuses the model. This is called an adversarial attack. Someone changes an input slightly, just enough to fool the AI, but not enough for us to notice. Let's take a famous example, a picture of a stop sign changed by adding a few small stickers. To us, it is still looks like a stop sign, but to the AI, now thinks it is a speed limit sign. Imagine what could happen if a self-driving car, you are hearing about that all the time. That's a serious safety issue. I can give you more examples, like an AI camera meant to detect weapons might be fooled by a toy gun or a cleverly shaped object. A chatbot might be tricked into saying something offensive just by rewording the input cleverly. A fraud detection model might miss suspicious behavior if small parts of the input, like data formats or country codes, are changed in the right way. Even text models can be fooled. Changing a single word or adding strange characters might totally change what the AI does. So again, why it is dangerous? People can use these tricks to make AI say or do harmful things, can bypass safety filters, confuse us, or crash the system. And here is the kicker. These attacks can be automated. That means someone can write code and generate thousands of tricky inputs and fires them at your AI in seconds. That is dangerous. Now, let's look at the next one, leaking private information, model inversion, right? Here is something surprising. Even if you don't store sensitive data, your AI might still give it away. This happens when someone asks your model a lot of smart, tricky questions and slowly figures out the private data it was trained on. It is called model inversion, and yes, it is real. Let's say you train a medical chatbot using hospital records, of course, with permissions. You think everything is safe, but a clever attacker keeps asking things like, what would you say if a 35-year-old female patient from Houston had this exact symptom pattern? With enough questions, they might slowly piece together, right? Who was in your training data, what conditions they had, even personal facts about them. I can give you some real examples too. One research team was able to recreate actual training images from a computer vision model, including the faces. See, language models like ChatGPT, not the recent ones, the earlier versions, right, could sometimes be tricked into repeating sensitive internal data like snippet of code or email addresses if prompt in the right way. So again, why it is dangerous? Even when your company promises privacy, the model might leak data accidentally. This leads to true issues, lawsuits, and real harm to users. And since models are often deployed in many places, one leak can go globally in seconds, right? Now, let's look at building the AI in right way, right? So what can we do about it? We all share the job of keeping AI safe, not just security team, right? Every coder, designer, student, and builder has a part to play. So even during a hackathon, when you are just testing things, you are creating habits that shape your future projects. Ask simple but powerful questions like, where is my data from? Can someone misuse it? What happens if a person from a different country or culture uses it? Responsible building doesn't mean being slow, it means thinking ahead. When you build today, won't hurt someone tomorrow. Now, simple things that you can do today. For example, use safe and clean data. Don't grab any dataset you find online. Some are full of mistakes or hidden problems. Use well-known datasets. Check your data before using it. You can see ton of examples in the internet at Kaggle. Go there, find good datasets and use those. A fake news detector trained on wrong headline might call real fake news, right? So it is very, very important that you use safe and clean data. And pick models you can understand, right? Use tools like SHAP or LIME to see why the model made a choice. And if you don't know how your model make decisions, you can't fix it when it goes wrong. Example, a resume filter might favor certain schools without you realizing it. Now, lock down your APIs and tools. Don't leave your model open to the internet. Use API keys, passwords, limit who can use it. One AI tool was left open. People used it to write spam emails. So secure your APIs, and you can find ton of ways to do that. Even in cloud, right? You have Azure APIs, you have AWS keys. So there are a bunch of ways to secure your APIs. Make sure that use API keys, passwords, and limit who can use it. And now test weird or unusual cases. Try giving your model strange or broken input. What happens? As an example, what if someone types only emojis or uses a different language? Test for the real world examples. So always use more testing, test weird and unusual cases. And use good settings when you deploy. If you are putting your model on the cloud, Even for a test, use secure settings. Cloud tools like AWS or Google Cloud give you options like encryption and secure buckets. And you must be familiar with blob storages or object stores that give you secure storage on cloud. And then there are a bunch of ways to encrypt your data. So you must have heard about a encryption at rest. Use AES 256 algorithm to encrypt your data. Encryption over the wire. Use TLS 1.2 and above to secure the communication. So make sure that you have all the right settings when you deploy your application, whether it is on premises or cloud. Use them. Don't skip just because it's only a demo. And now let's look at what world is doing to secure the AI. Right? Good news, big organizations and governments are starting to take AI safety seriously. Right? Europe has passed a law, the AI Act, that asks for clean rules around trust and fairness. The US and other are working on a similar ideas to make AI fair and explainable. And recently, California created a new law, and then Texas followed it. And there are a bunch of other states coming up with new laws around how to secure AI. Companies like Google, OpenAI, and Microsoft now test their models for safety before they release. Open source tools also help. For example, Hugging Face give you warnings about bias or risks in the model. So the world is learning that safety and trust aren't extras; they're kind of must-haves. Now, let's look at what is your role as a builder, right? I would say here is the big takeaway. You are not just writing code. You are deciding how AI behaves in schools, hospitals, homes, right? When you build something that could be used by people probably in a classroom in India or a farm in Kenya or a city government in Brazil. So that's amazing power. So build with care, think about all users, not just easy ones. Let's not only build what works, let's build what is right. Now, let's go to the closing thoughts, right? As we jump into this hackathon or your next class or a side project, stay curious, stay creative, and stay careful. Build cool stuff, but also build safe stuff. Because if we build AI that people can trust, we are not just making tools, we are building the future. Thank you once again. Thank you. I can't wait to see what amazing things you will create. All the best.